Coming up on Let's Get to the Points.
We listen and we don't judge. Out loud.
I don't know if I should be talking about this, but
you have to have money in a U.S. bank account to get that.
Do any of you guys have this, or is that a stupid question?
There are stupid questions.
Now, let's get to the points. She loves elevating family travel into a luxurious, affordable, and unforgettable experience. It's Serena. When he's not on the road, he's finding the deals that'll get him there. It's Miguel. She has taken her family from Spirit to Etihad First Class, but she's only loyal to a great deal. It's Nicole, and his true love is traveling the world in first class, using his points and miles, that is. It's Mitch Shannon.
Hi there. Thank you for joining us on Let's Get to the Points audio video podcast, where we bring you the very best in tips and tricks in the world of miles, points, and travel. I'm Mitch Shannon, joined by my co-hosts, who are the best travel experts in everything points, miles, and travel. First up, after points and miles, cashback is her next favorite thing. It's Serena.
Hi, everyone.
From points and miles to cashback, he has got you covered. It's Miguel.
Yeah, what's up?
And she's got no annual and foreign transaction fees with her. It's Nicole.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Please help us out. Click the subscribe button below now to our YouTube channel, Spotify, Apple Podcast, wherever you watch or listen. Also, don't forget, sign up for our weekly newsletter. We send it out every Friday. It has the latest news in points and miles. Now let's do it. Let's get to the point. Tonight, we have decided to curb the points and miles and Hyatt talk, Nicole, and focus our conversation on something that doesn't always get the spotlight in our world, and that is cashback credit cards. Whether you're looking for a no annual fee card, a premium option with extra perks, or a card that stacks well with your travel reward strategy, we've got all the answers that you are looking for. And as always, we invite you to join in our conversation online by leaving a comment below. All right, gang, as we get started tonight, I want you to know I broke out two of my favorite cashback cards right here. I brought them for our show tonight, all the way with me. I've got the Discover card and go ahead and judge me, Nicole, my Amazon Prime card.
We listen and we don't judge. Out loud.
I actually was looking into the Amazon Prime card, Mitch, and pretty cool card. We'll talk more about that later.
Cool enough for you to get Amazon Prime, Serena?
Don't tell everyone I don't have Prime. I'm on a 30-day free trial now.
So we are a travel show, and most of us prefer travel rewards cards, but there are good uses for cashback cards, and some people prefer cashback cards because it may be easier to know what you're getting for everything that you're spending on your credit cards. Now, personally, I prefer travel cards because with cashback cards, you have a ceiling. If you get a 2% cashback card, you will never get more than those 2%. With travel rewards cards, where you earn points and miles, where you could transfer those points and miles over to transfer partners, you can get 2, 3, 4, even 5 times or more of the value, depending on how you redeem your points. If you transfer them over to an airline and use those points for an international premium cabin flight or a luxury hotel, you're going to get way more than 2% or 5% that you can get with some of these cashback cards. So let me give you an example. If you have 100,000 points in a cashback card that usually is valued at about $1,000. Most cards value their points at 1 cent, so that'll be $1,000 worth of cashback. If you have 100,000 points in a travel card that you can transfer over to a travel partner, it could be possible to transfer those points and book a round trip flight in business class. Now, some of these business class flights are valued at, $4,000 or $5,000 or even more round trip. So instead of getting $1,000 cash, you could get a $5,000 flight. That is what I mean by with a cashback, you have a ceiling. Those 100,000 points will never be worth more than $1,000 cash. But if you use them for travel, it could be worth a lot more. Before we start discussing the best cashback cards, I want to discuss the different types of cashback. There are mainly 2 types of cashback cards. There's flat rate cards and there's category bonus cards. An example of a flat rate cashback card would be the Citi Double Cash. This card will give you 2% back on everything. An example of the bonus category cashback cards will give you maybe 3% on a certain category like dining, but they'll give you 1% on other expenses. And there's another bonus category that actually rotates per quarter. So we'll discuss this more in length, but there are different categories categories of cashback cards. With that out of the way, now let's discuss some of these cashback cards.
So Miguel, I'm very much like you. I love the travel reward cards. But back in the day, I did use a cashback card. So I used to use the Fidelity cashback card, and it earned 1.5% cashback. But back then, that was pretty good for a cashback card. Nowadays, there are multiple cards where you can earn over 2% on everything, which is so fantastic. So let's say you don't want to mess around with categories and you just want one cashback card for everyday use. I want to maximize my cashback, but minimize the headaches. So imagine not having to worry about which card you have to whip out when you're at the grocery store or you're at a restaurant. Just a flat, high cashback rate everywhere. So I'm talking about one card with high cashback and no categories. I'm also going to ignore any welcome bonuses because there are lots of cards out there with very high welcome offers, like the Capital One Spark Cash Plus card. That card offers a very high bonus right now, but then after the bonus, you're still only getting 2%. Now, 2% cashback isn't bad at all, but with a lot of cards out there right now getting more than 2%, you shouldn't have to settle for 2%. And I actually will say that if you're using a cashback card that earns less than 2%, you're using the wrong card. You need to look at other cashback cards out there. And so here are some that you should look at. So with these options, I'm going to go in order of highest to lowest cashback. First is the US Bank Smartly card. This earns 4% cashback on everything and no annual fee. But you have to have money in a US bank account to get that 4%. It can be a savings, a brokerage account, or a retirement account. So if you have $5,000 at US Bank, you get 2.5% cashback on that card. If you have $50,000 at US Bank, you can get 3% back. And to get that very nice 4% cashback, you need to have $100,000 at the bank. But remember, money in retirement accounts and brokerage accounts count. There are foreign transaction fees on this card, so don't use this card for international charges. The second card is the Robinhood Gold card. This one earns 3% cashback on everything. It does not have an annual fee, but you have to pay for Robinhood Gold, which is $50 for the annual membership. The Robinhood Gold card has no foreign transaction fee. Then we have the Discover It card. That card earns 3% cashback only in the first year with no annual fee and no foreign transaction fees. Now, this 3% cashback is only in the first year. There are reports you can close and reopen this card again. And then next we have the Bank of America Unlimited Cash Rewards card. This card has no annual fee, but it does have a foreign transaction fee. You get 1.5% cashback on everything, but it comes with a very nice cashback boost if you participate in Bank of America's Preferred Rewards program. This Preferred Rewards program has different tiers, and they are Gold, Platinum, and Platinum Honors. If you have a $20,000 balance at Bank of America, that puts you in the Gold tier, and you get a 25% bonus on top of the regular 1.5% cashback. If you have a $50,000 balance, you are in the Platinum tier, and you get a 50% boost. And with a $100,000 balance at Bank of America, you get Platinum Honors and a 75% boost. And also with Bank of America, brokerage accounts and retirements also count. If you hold a $100,000 balance at Bank of America, with that Platinum Honors boost, you will actually get 2.625% cashback on everything. And there's also a business version of this card with a no annual fee. And then one last card is the Alliant Credit Union Visa Signature Card. It earns 2.5% cashback on up to $10,000 in purchases per billing cycle. There's no annual fee, no foreign transaction fee, but to qualify, you have to sign up for e-statements, make one electronic deposit per month, and have an average checking balance of $1,000 or more. Okay, so I want to know, what do you guys think about these cards?
I think I should have signed up for the Robinhood card when they first launched, because when they first launched, if you referred, I think something like 10 people over to Robinhood and the waitlist for this card, and you got approved for the card, they were sending cards made out of solid gold. I think something like 30 something grams of solid 10 karat gold for the card. Probably a good little savings to have, especially in this economy, to have a little bit of gold.
Do you know anyone who actually got that gold card though? I mean, the solid gold card.
No.
I saw someone online, but I forgot who it was.
So the Robinhood Gold Card, it's a really good card for a 3% cashback card, but not a lot of people know this. So this card has a replacement card fee. So if you lose the card, you're going to have to pay $40 to get a card. So I don't think it's a good card for you if you lose a lot of things.
That would be me.
I think the new card still has some gold, right? It's just not solid gold. I think it's like gold plated or something.
It still looks very pretty.
Must be $40 worth.
Must be.
It must be. So remember, with that card, you also have to pay the annual membership fee, which is $50 per year. And if you spend over $1,700 per year on that card, then you'll break even on that fee.
You mentioned the Discover It card. And remember when we did the application for my son for the Capital One Saver card, and we decided, well, we were going to wait. Well, he waited and he went and got the Discover It thanks to Miguel.
Yay.
So this was his first credit card. The good thing about this card was that they gave him $100 cash back. And so far he hasn't really spent much. So he still has a negative balance after 2 months. But when he's using my card, he's spending lots more.
Yeah, I think that's a great first card. I think if I remember correctly, Mitchell, that was one of your first cards and you still have it, right?
I got it right here. Discover.
Oh, that looks like retro.
That's the retro design.
I was going to say ancient, but retro is nicer.
Okay, so Mitch, so with that Discover card, how much are you earning on it?
Well, there's no annual fee. Let's put it at that. It's my oldest card. That's why I hold on to it. But it has the rotating bonus categories every quarter, which you have to go in and sign up for. So depending on what quarter of the year it is, you go in, you click it, and you're going to get up to 5% cash back. But there's a limit on how much you can earn each quarter for that.
And Nicole, what is the version that your son got?
Version?
I mean, what is it earning 3% cash back in the first year?
It is. And then he has the rotating categories.
Did they double it the first year or something like that?
You would have to ask him. I did not read into all of the disclosures. I was
is
like,
not
just
for
get
the
a card with the annual fee.
I think with a Discover, there's also like a good student bonus the first year. So if you have good grades, they give you some statement credit too.
Listen, there's a lot of things I do as mom, and this one was not in my repertoire. I'm full, not taking any appointments.
If you have a new player 2 or player 3 and you want this Discover card, let us know because they might have this $100 bonus through a referral. So it's an easy $100 for your player 2 or 3.
So I also think these cashback cards are great for the P2s, 3s, 4s in your household who don't want to mess with different categories, right? Just put a high cashback card in their wallet and be done with it. And they don't have to worry about which card to use. And you don't have to worry because you know that you're getting more than 2x.
Now, are these the same P2s and P3s that want to be in business class with us? Because if you can't manage spending on the right card, then you get to sit in the back. Cashback is not getting you the front of the plane. I'm sorry, this is a cashback show. I apologize.
Okay, now there is one card, Miguel, that you had mentioned a little bit earlier, which is a City Double Cash card. Now, going off Nicole, this is a show about cashback cards, but what makes that card great is that it can be paired with the City Strata card, and you can move those points over into thank you points from cashback. So basically, if you pair it with these two cards, you're getting 2% cash back, which is basically 2 points on everything. That turns into thank you points into that ecosystem, which City points, they're pretty good to have, especially if you're able to pair this. Now, if you just wanted the cash and just wanted to do the 2%, that's easy to do, but this card is really good. You talked about that, Serena, about if you just want to give it to your player 2, player 3, player 4, just kind of something to give them and let them be done with it. It's an easy way to get 2% back on everything, points or cash, depending on what you really want.
Now, Mitch, do you have this City Double Cash card?
I have like 4 of them, but yeah, it's not for the show.
Did you get approved for the City Strata Premier card recently?
Okay, so yes, I did. I put it off for a while. So the language on that says that you can only be approved every 48 months. What is that, 4 years, if I'm doing my math right? So I have waited 4 years. It has been that long. It was COVID when I last got one of these City Premier cards. Now, the thing at the time is you were able to get 2 of them and be able to get that sign up bonus. Well, you can maybe even get 3 if you worked it really well. There was a way around that. So that's kind of how I ended up with all these City Double Cash cards, because I just converted them into the Double Cash card from the Premier, so I didn't have to pay the annual fee on that. That time is now since passed. Ever since then, I've now reset my calendar and I'm able to get that sign up bonus again for the City Strata card.
And you got it.
And I got it. And I'm working on that minimum spend right now.
So Mitch, this is a cashback card show. Can we stay on the cashback topic?
I'll try as hard as I can.
Always breaking the rules.
No.
Yep.
With the high cashback cards that I mentioned before, here is how I rank these cards and whether or not you should get them. If you have $100,000 in an investments or a retirement account that you can transfer to US Bank, I think the 4% with the US Bank Smartly card is a no-brainer. And that's the one that I would be interested in for myself. If you don't have $100,000, I think the Robinhood Gold is your next best option at 3% cashback. You have to spend over $1,700 throughout the year in order to break even on the cost of the $50 membership fee. And the third best, I would say, is the Discover It card. But remember, for this one, you're only going to get the 3% cashback in the first year.
Serena discussed the cards that earn over 2% and have no headache, very simple and easy to use. I like to maximize and create lots of headache, not just for myself, but for the people in my household. I'm going to tell you about the cards that have either rotating categories or category bonus just consistently on the card. Now, when choosing a card with category bonuses, you want to make sure that the bonus aligns with your spending habits. So if you are like Mitch and you like to shop at Amazon, you'd want to get a card that's going to reward you for this spending. And you like to eat out, or your mom likes to go to, what's that place called again, Mitch?
Cheesecake Bakery, not the F, B, bakery.
And she likes to go to Cheesecake Bakery, then you want to pick a card that's going to give you extra spending bonus in that category. So I know I'm not supposed to say the H word on this episode. So I'm going to talk about the cards what you can use to transfer to the H word. So we're going to start off with the Chase Freedom Flex. The Chase Freedom Flex has category multipliers. We're going to start off with earning 5% cashbacks on the rotating quarterly categories of up to $1,500. These categories include things like supermarket, gyms, even live concerts, and they rotate every 3 months. You can also get 5% back on travel purchases purchased through the Chase Travel Portal, 3% on dining and drugstores, and 1% on all other purchases. The pros for this card are the high cashback rates in the rotating categories. There's no annual fee on this card, and there's additional fixed bonus categories that enhance your earning potential. The cons are it requires quarterly activation. So every 3 months, you have to go in and register for the current promotion. The earnings in the rotating category are capped up to $1,500 per quarter, and there's a 3% foreign transaction fee. Now, the second card is the Discover It cashback. You're going to get 5% cash back on $1,500 in purchases in the rotating categories per quarter. Now, after that, you're only going to get 1% on each purchase. This card, at the end of the first year, they're going to match your bonus for new card holders. There's no annual fee, and the rotating categories are usually in popular spending areas. Now, the drawback with this card is, again, it requires activation for the quarterly spending. The rotating categories are capped at $1,500, and Discover, despite that Mitch has had it for a long time, is not widely accepted internationally. The Capital One Saver Cashback Rewards card has 3% cashback on dining, entertaining, and popular streaming services. It also includes 3% on grocery stores and 1% back on all other purchases. This card has no annual fee and 3% unlimited cashback. So these are all pros for this card, including the fact that it does not have a foreign transaction fee. And the cons are, in the other categories, you're only going to earn 1%. The good thing about these cards is even though they are cashback cards, they can be paired with other cards so that you can earn travel rewards benefit. Miguel, please don't dock my score for talking about travel rewards. So the Saver card can be paired with a Capital One Venture or Venture X to earn miles. The Chase card can be paired with a Chase Sapphire Reserve or a Chase Sapphire Preferred to earn ultimate rewards points. So these cashback cards are basically the best of both worlds. Earn cashback if you want to, or earn rewards that can get you travel benefits. What do you guys think about these rotating bonus categories? Is the juice worth the squeeze?
It's not for me. If you get one of these, like the Chase Freedom Flex, which gives you up to 5% for a different category every quarter, you can max that out at $1,500 per quarter, which is $6,000 per year. 6 times 5, 30,000 points or $300. I don't think it's worth having to remember to activate it and having to maximize my shopping for these categories every quarter. So that one's not for me. But I will say that the Chase Freedom Flex has a really good phone protection. So if you use that card to pay your cell phone bill, you can have a claim of up to $800 if something happens to your phone and you're paying your bill with that card. So for a no annual fee card, that's pretty good.
I'm going to take a guess and say that Serena is not going to be activating any quarterly bonuses.
No, those rotating categories just drive me insane. You know, a lot of those quarters, they don't even apply to me. I just can't make sense of any of it. So I'm okay with the fixed categories, but not the rotating categories.
The only reason I have that Chase Freedom Flex card is that was one of my first cards. I don't know which YouTuber I watched that got me to sign up for that card, but it took up a 524 slot and I'm regretting it now.
I think Serena's rotating categories is that she has a new welcome offer every quarter.
Correct.
Maybe every month, but at least every quarter she's working on a new welcome offer anyway. So those don't apply to her.
When you have to monitor that and keep good records of your welcome bonuses, I just can't add rotating categories to that. It's just too much. My spreadsheet is too big already.
No, it's like a CVS receipt, right?
Right.
Okay, so those are some really good options you got there, Nicole, but I want to talk now about one of my favorite cash back cards. It's right here. We've talked about it before. It's the Amazon Prime Visa card. Do any of you guys have this, or is that a stupid question?
No.
There are no stupid questions, is what I've been told.
There are stupid questions, but no, I don't have that card.
All right, so let me tell you why I have this card. So there are two main reasons that I love this Amazon Prime card, because number one, I actually do have an Amazon account and we do buy stuff from Amazon. So it's great to get that 5% cash back for all of those purchases. But the second reason that I hold this card is, I don't know if I should be talking about this, but I participate in the buying groups. And with the buying groups, a lot of the stuff that they are looking to purchase comes through Amazon. So because of that, I could use a card that's going to get credit card points and miles, but I get a little greedy and I want cash back, because sometimes when you're doing those buying groups, depending on your risk and how much that you want to involve yourself, you can go a little high and you can do really well with some cash back. And that's why I like to use this card for that 5% cash back at Amazon when I go through the buying groups. Another benefit of doing the buying groups and using the Prime card, if you want to try to maximize some cash back, is going through the portals when you're buying those Amazon devices. So for example, if one of the buying groups are looking for, let's say, an Amazon Alexa, oh no, we didn't hear her. We don't have one here where we are. Don't want to set her off. You can go through these portals and get some extra cash back. Now, it's not as good as it used to be, or I haven't seen it lately as good as it used to be. Right, Nicole? I think you were doing that too.
Yes, it used to be like 8% for Amazon devices.
Yeah, it's dropped a little bit, but hey, any cash is good cash. That's the way I look at it. So you got to be careful when you do this. So what you want to do is you want to go through and find the exact device that they're looking to buy in these buying groups. And then you want to go back out, go through the portal, topcashback.com, probably one of the better ones. Go through, make sure your purchase tracks. You got to do this and then purchase it and check out. And then maybe a day, 2 days, usually when it ships is when they send you the notification that you're going to be able to get that cash back, in addition to what you're going to get from the Amazon Prime card as well. Now, if you're also looking for other ways to maximize on your Amazon Prime Visa, another thing you can do is Amazon sells a lot of gift cards. Maybe you like dining out, maybe you're looking to go for a little shopping trip, whatever it is, you can find some really good gift cards on Amazon.com. And if you purchase, you're going to get that 5% cash back. So that's a great way if you can't really find another cashback credit card to get that category spending that we were talking about, that you can get that 5% cash back. back. So a couple of other great things about the Amazon Prime Visa cashback card is you get 5% cash back at Amazon, all the brands, which are Fresh, Whole Foods, and they also give 5% Chase travel purchase cashback, which if you go through the travel portal might not be a bad option if you're into cashback cards. You get 2% cashback with gas stations, restaurants, and transit, and this does include the ride share as well. So as we were talking about earlier, if you want to give a card to your P2, make it easy, and you do a lot of that category spending, that would be a good card if you are spending in those categories to give your P2. And then you get 1% cashback on everything else. They do occasionally do the 10% cashback on select products with a Prime card bonus, but here's the thing, no annual fee on this card. There's no foreign transaction fees either, and sometimes during Prime days, they do offer 6% cash back if you change your shipping speed on your purchases. So if you want a smidge more cash back, that's something else to look out for as well. There's also the Amazon Business Prime card from American Express. It's kind of the same version of this. The terms are almost the same as well, just a little bit different on the 5%, but it is a business card and it's not going to show you on your credit report. So if you are doing the buying groups and you don't want to show how high your balance goes on your credit report, might be a good option too. All right, so there it is, the Amazon Prime Chase Visa card. I pulled the curtain back just a little bit on the buying groups. We know that you all have been asking for a very special episode on that, and we're working on it. But maybe that's a little teaser for right now.
Mitch, I've been looking at this Amazon Prime card because it's so interesting, especially with buying gift cards on Amazon and getting that 5%. Now, is it easy to cash out that 5%?
Okay, so I've talked about this before, and Nicole judged me. She really wanted to know how big my piggy bank with my Amazon Prime Visa card was. It is super easy to cash that out. And I almost feel, here's my thing. I feel guilty hanging on to this cash and just kind of letting it sit there, but I get this satisfaction of seeing the balance grow, even though it's not a savings account. I don't know why that is.
You have a problem.
I do. I have a big problem. But to answer your question, super easy to cash it out. You can direct deposit it to any checking account that you have. Just go in, link it, and they will send it over 2 to 3 days the second you hit submit or click.
That's great to know because ever since our Keeper card episode, which was episode 66, you've been talking about this card. It is one of your Keeper cards and still is, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We've had this card for a very long time. And, you know, occasionally you can get a sign up bonus on this. I've seen it, floating around, like maybe you get $100 or something if you sign up for it. So, you know what? Free $100. I think I've seen that on the Amazon American Express one too. I've seen that sign up bonus too.
I want to jump in here with an honorable mention, and I'm going to talk about a card that I don't know, I haven't really seen a lot of people talk about. And the reason why I like this card as a cashback card is because 1, it's 5%. 2, you don't need to have $100,000 in US Bank for them to give you this card. 3, there's no annual fee. And 4, it's not a rotating category. You can actually select your categories. Any guesses?
I stopped listening when you said categories.
Miguel, cashback is not my language. So just go ahead and tell us what card it is.
It's US Bank, because I know Citi does have a custom cash card, which you can select the categories to get 5%. But I'm talking about the US Bank Cash Plus card. One of the reasons why I really like this card is because you can select 2 categories to get 5% cash back. And one of those categories is actually home utilities. You don't see that multiplier or that bonus category on other cards. If you really want to maximize your cash back, this is a card that you can use to have your utilities on auto pay. You can max this out at $2,000 per quarter, which is, $660 a month or whatever. So all the utilities and rising costs, you can get pretty close to maxing out $2,000 per quarter just with home utilities alone, but you can actually select from a few other categories. But I'd never seen home utilities as a bonus category. So I think this is a pretty good card if you want to maximize 5% cash back on all your everyday expenses.
I do know a card that's going to give you 5% on home utilities, but it's complicated.
Miguel, it sounds like your AC bill's pretty high in the desert.
Yeah.
Because I actually don't think I'm spending $2,000 a quarter on utilities. Am I? What is that? Gas, electric, and what else?
I don't know.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, right?
Wait, is it?
What are utilities? Gas, electric, and
Gas, electric, water.
water.
Telephone. Do we still
Trash.
have home phones?
Well, one of the other categories is TV, streaming, and internet. With that and the home utilities, I think maybe you can get close to maxing this out.
So I want to ask our viewers, how much are you guys spending on utility per quarter? Are you making it to 2,000? And if so, do you want cash back for that money, or do you want to earn Hyatt points? Or travel rewards. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to say that word today. Let us know in the comments, if you were paying your utilities, what would you rather earn, cash back or travel rewards?
Now, Miguel, if I remember correctly, there was kind of a series of these cards with US Bank, right? There was a couple of them. There was a business version too, right?
Sure.
AKA, I don't know.
I asked because there was a pretty good recent sign-up bonus on these. It was like $700 some dollars, I think, if I remember right. It was pretty high.
Yeah, I do remember that they used to have the US Bank Ultimate Reserve card, which I thought was a pretty good card. But unfortunately, that US Bank Ultimate Reserve card is no longer open to new applicants. So we'll see if there's any new cards with US Bank.
I think it's possible to product change to it if you have an existing US Bank card that you've held for over a year. So that might be possible.
Yeah, no, that's a no.
You mean you don't want that utilities one, Miguel?
Going back to the utilities, because I think it's interesting. There's more and more merchants every day that are charging you a fee to pay with a credit card. I've noticed it at restaurants where they give you the bill, and if you pay with a credit card, there's a credit card fee of 3% or something. If you're earning more than 3% cash back, sure, you might have a net gain there, but that's why I prefer travel cards, because if I'm dining out and I'm getting charged 3%, I might use a card that's getting 4 points. Now, those 4 points are worth more than 3% to me. So it's still a net positive value. Sometimes utility companies will also charge you a fee if you're paying with a credit card. So you want to make sure that if they're charging you a fee to pay with a credit card, that you're earning more cash back or travel points than what that fee is, because if not, it doesn't make sense.
So we talked a lot about cashback cards on the show, and, a few of us have interjected with some travel rewards cards as well. But I'm sure you're wondering, how do I decide between travel rewards cards or cashback cards? What kind of advice do you guys have for them?
If you want to travel, then don't do cashback. Just get travel cards. But I understand that sometimes it's complicated to learn about transfer partners, transferring your points and miles over to an airline or hotel and going through the portal. It seems like no matter where you go look for advice, you feel like you might be doing something wrong because you're not maximizing the points and miles. And if you just wanted to do it the easy way and you know exactly what you're getting with cashback, you're getting 2% and that's fine with you, then as long as you're getting something back, I think that's fine. And if you want to do cash back because it's super easy, then do cash back. But don't be my friend.
Miguel, I was along the same lines as you. I was like, if you want to do cash back, I'm not the one or the two or the three, because we're a travel show. And our point is to make sure you maximize the dollars that you're spending. And while cash back can be a great advantage, a better advantage is using it to fly Singapore suites, flying Qatar Q suites, or just to take a American Airlines flight from here to go see your grandmother. That's going to give you way more benefit than 5% on your utilities for 2000. I'm sorry, I'm being all judgmental, but yes, there is a place for cash back. But I really think that travel rewards will give you a much greater return on your dollars spent.
Okay, I've got 2 points, and my first one, I'm going to have a little more empathy than the other two co-hosts. So with that said, I get it. In the world of credit card points and miles, it can get very overwhelming sometimes. And sometimes you want to take a break. Been there, done it, did it. And you just want to let stuff ride. Sometimes getting cash back just might be the easy way if you're getting overwhelmed, or it's too much to deal with all the categories and the bonuses when it comes to credit card points and miles. So that's my first point. I think it's okay if you want to take a break and it's something easy to kind of put on autoplay. My second piece is sometimes it can make sense when you're doing cash backs. For example, what I talked about tonight, when you're using the buying groups and being able to get 5, 6, 7% cash back, to me, I think the cash back is pretty good instead of getting points and miles when you can only get 2 or 3 with that same same purchase, unless you're going for a new card sign-up bonus, which that might be a little different. But in certain situations, I think cashback can make sense.
I'm going to empathize too, Mitch. And I think this is why you guys watch us, for 4 different opinions, and we don't always agree. I think it really depends on your lifestyle. If you like to travel a lot, then travel rewards would make more sense for you. The money that you spend on travel rewards cards will far outweigh and exceed the same amount if you were to put it on the US Bank Smartly card, even at 4%, for example. So I think if you travel a lot, definitely stick with the travel rewards. But travel rewards is not cold hard cash. And I know people like the cold hard cash. I think if you prefer the cash, I think if you don't like paying annual fees, and if you don't care about big sign-up bonuses, then I think cashback cards would be the way to go for you. Also, remember, you can use cashback cards and then buy points and then use that to redeem for redemptions as well. But if I was in a position where I was earning more points than I can redeem, don't we wish we were in that position? I'm not. Right. I would definitely switch to cashback. But for right now, I'm constantly trying to replenish my points and mile stash. So it's travel rewards cards is where I'm going to stay for now.
All right. So I've thought of a fair compromise between cashback and travel rewards. Nicole mentioned how there are some cards that are cashback that you can pair with a travel card and combine those points to where the cashback that you're earning is actually travel rewards as well. So for example, you can start with a Chase Freedom card. There's a Chase Freedom Unlimited or Chase Freedom Flex, which earn points as cashback, but maybe you use that as your training wheel so you can get comfortable with the Chase ecosystem. And maybe eventually you get a Chase Sapphire card. You combine those points for travel. You can do the same thing with Capital One, maybe get the Saver card where you're getting 3% back on dining. But then eventually, once you feel comfortable, you get the Capital One Venture X, and combine those miles and use them for travel. I think that's a fair compromise. Get your feet wet with cashback cards, but those are open to being combined with travel rewards later on. So I think maybe that's a strategy as well.
Perfect way to end it, Miguel. Compromise. Let us know in the comments. Are you team cashback, team travel rewards, or somewhere right down the middle? Would love to hear from you.
And we have credit card links on our website if you're interested in any of these cards. And if you're having trouble finding links to these credit cards, let us know and we can help you out.
That's it for now. I want to thank all of our hosts. It's Serena.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Miguel.
Later.
And we're going to see you next week, Nicole.
See you guys next week.
And I'm Mitch. Make sure you sign up for our email newsletter. Just snap the QR code right now on your screen for the latest and everything going on in the points and miles world. We're going to see you next Friday. Thank you for watching and listening.
Let's get to the points.com.